Hi friends, how are you all? I hope you are doing great. I can understand English, but I cannot speak English fluently. Are you also struggling with this problem? See, you may be thinking that I can understand everything while listening to podcast or while watching something in English, but when it comes to speak, I get stuck. Why it's happening to me? What's wrong with me? If you are struggling with this problem, then today's video is completely for you. So don't go anywhere, stay with me till the end of the video. Without further ado, let's get started. First of all, you need to know, why do you understand English? See, you have been learning this language since childhood, and that's why you can understand this language. You can frame this language, you can frame some sentences. But when it comes to speak, then you get stuck because you haven't practiced yet. You may know some English words that you have learned so far. You have learned these words while studying something, while reading a book, while watching something in English, while listening to a podcast. But you can't use them. You haven't used them. When it comes to use, you get stuck. Do you know what's the reason behind it? Just think about it. Okay, now I'm going to give you three main reasons and their solutions. First one is more consuming and less producing. See, you are consuming a lot. You are listening to podcasts, you are watching something in English, you are reading books, but you are not producing anything. You are not expressing your words. You are not expressing your thoughts. You can't convey them. When you listen something, you are improving your listening comprehension, but you are not expressing them. Suppose you have learned something by listening to a podcast or listening something in English, but you are not expressing them, then you are not going to be fluent. You will firmly understand everything while listening something, while watching something, but you can't speak. You will not be able to speak. Now you may be thinking, or your questions could be, we don't get anyone to practice with. See, it happens with all. We hardly get a good circumstances or a good environment where we can practice. We hardly get some people with whom we can practice. It happens to me as well. See, you have to create your own environment. You have to create your own circumstances. You may not have a good teacher. You may not have some co-learners. You may not have family members with whom you can make a conversation, with whom you can continue your English conversation. But it's okay. There are a lot of people you can get using some application. Use them and be fluent. Use them and practice over there. But using applications is the next step. You have to start speaking with yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and start speaking in English. You can make a lot of conversations with yourself. And after that, you can record your own voice. And when you get free times, you can listen to your own voice. And you can get where you have made mistakes. And you can rectify your own mistakes. In this how you may make a lot of conversations and you can improve your fluency. When you complete these two steps, you will gain much more confidence and you can start your conversation confidently. Try to improve your English every single day. Learn something new every single day. Suppose you have learned 3 phrasal verbs or 5 phrasal verbs today. Use them in your sentences. And along with it, learn some new phrases, learn some new words, and make sentences with those new words, those new English phrases, and use them. See, you will not be able to speak until you speak something. See, you will not be able to speak until you start speaking. So start speaking with yourself using all those phrases, all those new words and phrasal verbs. Make a lot of sentences and use them to yourself. Use them in your sentences while practicing with yourself. And after completing this task, you can join English speaking groups. See, you will get a lot of people, you will get a lot of co-learners like you. So with them, you can start practicing. And that time, you will get yourself much more confident, much more fluent. Now I'm going to explain the second reason. See, your second reason is your constant concern about reducing mistakes. You are very much concerned about it. that you are making a lot of mistakes and you have to reduce first, you have to reduce all those mistakes, you have to correct your sentences, then only you will practice, then only you will start speaking. But it doesn't happen. When you start thinking about your mistakes, then it will block yourself. One thing you need to keep in your mind, that fluency is all about communication, not the perfection. If you think that you have to be perfect and only then you will start speaking, you will start practicing, then you are not going to be fluent. So you have to stop thinking a lot about your mistakes. The more you think about your mistakes, the less correctly you are going to speak. So stop thinking about your mistakes. You may make a lot of mistakes. From your own mistakes, you can learn a lot. See, you will make a lot of mistakes, and after that, you will be able to learn a lot of things from your own mistakes. Obviously, it is important to correct your sentence. Obviously, it is important to make a correct sentence and use it correctly. But don't let it hold you back. Don't let it keep you from speaking fearlessly. Only then you will be able to speak English. See, your English will also be flawless with time, but you have to be patient. You have to keep that much patience. If you don't have that patience, then you are not going to speak English. See, your English will also be flawless, but you have to wait for that. You have to be patient. You have to keep that much patience. English is a journey, so you have to consider it as a journey and you have to overcome all those steps. Not only you, every single person who wants to learn this language has to overcome all those steps. So making mistakes is really amazing. Thinking about it a lot don't block your ability to speak English. And one thing I want to include here, don't focus on grammar rules a lot. See, you will learn everything over time. You need to practice, you need to learn every single day. If you learn something every day, then after some days, you will find yourself much more fluent. You will find yourself much more good at English. But you should have some basic knowledge. Like you should have the knowledge of modal verbs and helping verbs and tense structures. If you don't know about them, then it's really problematic to make sentences, to frame sentences. Learn to frame the structure of simple present tense, simple past tense, present perfect tense, and make a lot of sentences with these structures, these tense structures. And after that, use them. You need to have this much knowledge before speaking English. You can include something new every day when you have this knowledge, when you have this much knowledge to frame sentences, to make sentences, to use some tense structures. I hope you have understood this much. Now I'm going to explain the third point. The third point is lack of patience. Yes, you don't have patience to learn this language. See, don't try to be fluent overnight. Don't try to be fluent very quickly. It takes time. If you think that I will be fluent in a week, I will be fluent in a month, I will be fluent in 2 months, 3 months, then it doesn't happen. See, it will not happen to you as well. You have to work hard. You have to connect all those dots, and only then you will be able to speak English. You have to listen to something, you have to listen to podcast or something in English, and you have to watch something in English, you have to read something in English, and after that you have to connect all those dots, and only then you will be able to speak. Suppose you are consuming a lot but you are not practicing, you are not speaking, then you will not be able to speak. You have to produce, you have to express your thoughts. Let's suppose you are learning some new words every day but you are not making sentences with them, then you are not connecting the dots. You have to connect the dots. You have to make sentences and you have to use them. And suppose you are trying to speak English, but you are not learning new words. You are not learning phrasal verbs, phrases. Then you are not connecting the dots. Again, you are not connecting the dots because you are not putting anything new into your mind. So you have to connect each and every dot. Only then you will be able to speak English. So these are three important reasons and solutions. I hope you have learned something new from this video. Why are you getting stuck frequently while speaking English? So this is all about today's video. I will be back with more content. Till then, take care. Thank you for watching this video. Bye-bye.